Hey guys, welcome to another video after a very long time. I think I've not uploaded anything for about 5-6 weeks. Very sorry about that. I've just been incredibly busy over the last month or so, but I'm going to try and get back on top of things and got a few videos lined up. Before I sign out for the year, I do have this stunning Ferrari 360 Modena, don't really know how you say it. Quick bit of history behind the Ferrari 360. It did replace the F355, and prior to this particular model, Ferraris were kind of known as, I suppose they were proper supercars back in the day, in the sense that you really couldn't live with them every single day. They'd do your head in, and yeah, they were just an absolute pain. Like, for example, the F355, usability, reliability was awful. Even the front end was really low, to the point where, you know, a lot of owners complained that they were scraping away at the front at, you know, literally the smallest of inclines, declines, that kind of thing. So the 360 was the turning point almost for the modern day Ferrari. You know, this shares more similarities with the Ferraris you see today than the Ferraris of the past. You know, reliability is much improved. The servicing costs, things like that, they are relatively lower for a Ferrari. Some quick facts and figures. In the back of this you will find a 3.6 litre V8 that churns out about 400 horsepower. You know, back then, 1999, 2000, 400 horsepower. Even 400 horsepower today is still quite a lot to be sending through the rear wheels. It is known for, I mean, this particular engine does have a glorious sound, and I'll get onto that in a bit. You know, it is naturally aspirated. You're not going to find the same amount of torque as you have in, say, a turbocharged, you know, petrol like that. But this thing does rev out to 8,500 RPM, and it's more about the sounds and the enjoyment you get rather than absolutely flying off the line. And you can't really do that on today's roads, so yeah. But this particular model does have various bits and pieces which do make it stand out from a standard 360 Modena. For example, the wheels have been replaced. These are alloy wheels from the later Ferrari F430. This rear grille, for those of you that do know your Ferraris, that is taken from the Challenge Stradale. It's like a mesh grille, and it actually does help with cooling. And from an aesthetic point of view, I think it does look a lot nicer, rather than just having the same body coloured panel across the back. Ferrari do a daft thing of this badge here. It is full aluminium. They charge quite a lot of money to put those on, and it's something that they do to this day. Why they do it, I don't really know. I suppose if you can buy a Ferrari, you're not going to say no. Right, I think that's enough waffle for now. I do want to get on the roads. I'm sure you want to see that too, and to listen to that engine. So let's get on to it. Straight away, what a place to be. I am a massive Ferrari fanboy. I won't lie about that. So anytime I'm in any kind of Ferrari, whether it's old, new, concept, I always get a massive smile on my face. You can get this car in a manual, but what I've got in here is what they call the F1 style automatic. So you get these paddle shifters, but it is single clutch. As I said, this is the first of the modern day Ferraris where you could actually drive it to work during the week, do the shopping, and then at the weekends take it for a blast down country roads, and it would perform on both aspects really, which you just couldn't get from any previous Ferraris. I mean, there was you know, at the time there was a lot of advanced tech incorporated into this car. You know, it had things like active suspension, so you know, as you were cornering, the dampers and everything would kind of adjust to make sure that the balance was at its optimum place throughout the bend. once you do get used to the fact of each time you change gear, just back off right before it, it is quite rewarding, to be fair. And would I have, you know, most of these cars were actually sold with this F1 style transmission. I think it was about 80% of them, so you know, the manuals are extremely rare. But to be fair, I'd probably opt for this. I know Sam from SeenThroughGlass does have a manual, and he absolutely loves it, and you know, I'm sure you still would. In terms of the interior, the car's almost 20 years old. It is very bare, which, you know, it is what you'd expect, to be fair. The car's more about the whole driving experience. Having said that, you know, especially with this red leather, I do think it's quite a nice place to be. These seats are actually very comfortable. Now, to give you guys an idea of what this V8 really sounds like, I am heading towards a set of tunnels which have finally been reopened. I think for this we'll put it into sport mode. That is insane! That is insane. Wow. Wasn't expecting that, to be fair. I mean, yeah, you know, the acceleration isn't brutally fast, you know. Put your foot down in an RS3 and you'd probably leave this behind. Although it'd probably be close, but however, you won't get a sound like that from any RS3, CLA 45, etc. The car kind of just, you know, it has a little grumble, you know, it's waking up to 3,000 RPM, 4,000-5,000, it's like, oh, you've woken me up early, and then beyond 5-6, it's just screaming its head off. It's brilliant. The road presence this has is still, you know, 20 years on, is absolutely incredible. I went to put fuel in before, and you know, everyone asks questions, and it's just everyone appreciates a Ferrari no matter how old it is. If anything, they probably appreciate an older one more than a new one, because yeah, they may assume you're a prat if you've got a bright red 488 or anything like that. It puts, as well as putting a smile on the driver's face, it puts a smile on everyone else's face around you. And that's what cars are about, really, isn't it? Yeah, the acceleration is brutal beyond, yeah, 5,000-6,000 RPM, which is a bit, it takes some getting used to, you know. My CLA 45 is red. That was very bad. Is redlined at about the 5,000-6,000 mark, but that's where this car, where this engine really comes alive. Yeah, the steering is just very direct. I mean, yeah, the roads are absolutely awful around where I live. I'm afraid I can't do much about that. There are some very good brakes on this car, supplied by Brembo, if I'm correct. It is brutal when you start to push. The rear is quite playful but stable at the same time. There is a dab of understeer, but you just dab the throttle and try and induce some oversteer, and you're back to a perfect balance again. My CLA45 just has understeer through and through, and there's not much you can do about it, whereas with this it's a lot more control. It is a lot more like a racing car. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I certainly enjoyed making it, and you know, it won't be another 6 weeks to my next video. Hopefully it will be a lot sooner. I've got quite a few things lined up. As always guys, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button, the like button, and yeah, follow me on Instagram as well, Zubair Hock Cars. I'll wave it about somewhere.